water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, a TV show amazed millions. Then, everything changed when I found out my friends hadn't seen it. Only Netflix, master of all forms of streaming, could help them. And when we needed it most, it added all 3 seasons. Not even 100 seconds passed before I convinced my friends to watch it. And although their binge-watching skills are great, they have a lot to go before they've completed the entire show. But I believe that they are going to love it.
Dun dun!
Welcome to the podcast where Olivia and I are making these two watch Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time.
Ooh.
Say the line, Jarron.
Finale.
Who the gosh darn heck are we?
I'm Daniel Hudson.
I'm Nora Jones.
Awkward pause.
Y'all gotta get the
Yeah.
order down.
I'm Gotham's Reckoning.
I'm Olivia Wee.
And I'm Gotham's Reckoning.
There we go.
Dr. Pavel, I'm CIA.
What just happened?
Gotham's Reckoning. Do you want to start off our discussion? No.
Perhaps he's wondering why you shoot a man.
I'm gonna have to just go through this entire podcast episode and add subtitles for Jarron.
Yeah.
Okay, can you... Alright,
Episode.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Alright, that's because I have the
doing
mic.
the voice.
Okay, I won't do the Bane voice again. I took the mask off. For those who were wondering, I had one of the quarantine masks on in my own house, and it called to mind Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, played by Tom Hardy, esteemed film by esteemed filmmaker Christopher Nolan.
Okay, director Christopher Nolan.
Daniel, you person.
For those who can't see, Jarron is holding his microphone like it's a mustache, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's just gonna. Jarron subtitles.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I'm crying.
Alright, I gotta get it together.
right.
So funny.
What are we doing again?
I don't know. I can't.
We're doing a podcast on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What was the first episode y'all watched?
Of
the
So
three.
for this watch through, the first episode was The Deserter.
That
For a
one.
brief summary, to jog the memories of some Noras who may not remember.
I remember it this time.
Okay, good. But still, just in case. In this episode, Aang tries to learn firebending from somebody who deserted the Fire Nation.
Watch this episode.
Yep. Big developments. Where do you guys want to start?
I just want to say that during this episode, hang on, I gotta jog my memory real quick, because he didn't want to help him at first, and then Avatar Roku showed up and was like, you will teach him firebending, right?
Yeah, that one.
I just want to say, I think Avatar Roku knew he was going to burn Katara, and he did it because he knew that guy didn't need to teach him firebending because he knew he wasn't ready.
Okay. So Roku convinced a man he didn't want to teach Aang firebending to teach Aang firebending, so Aang wouldn't learn firebending from the guy Roku forced to teach Aang firebending.
No, you misinterpreted.
Are we going to...
Roku forced him to teach Aang firebending because he knew that Aang wasn't ready.
So because he knew Aang wasn't ready,
He wanted him to learn a lesson.
by burning his friend. Man,
Yeah.
Avatar
Because she learned, she I don't remember what happened in this episode, I don't want to spoil something. I don't want.
She finds out she's a healer.
Yes, see, there you go. I didn't want to say it because I didn't know if it happened.
It happened, boo.
She, without Aang burning her, she would never have known her potential to be a healer.
Until the episode, the waterbending master. Where
No, because she didn't
from
learn
that
anything from them.
she did, but okay.
She sat in on one class.
And she didn't learn anything in a whole class.
No, because she was too focused on wanting to waterbend.
Sure.
I
I'm still hung up on the fact that
classes.
Goku's apparently omniscient.
I've sat through classes and haven't remembered anything.
But you're not Katara.
Also, Katara's a
I
15-year-old
think her
girl.
argument's valid. I didn't think of it before, but I think it's valid.
Could it be that it was like a dream or a premonition that Zhang had?
So, not really. I don't know how much I want to say, but Avatar Roku showed up basically the same way he did in that time at the Fireburning Temple.
Oh, okay. All right. That
He
makes
legit
sense.
showed up.
I was briefly confused when that happened because for whatever reason I thought it was a flashback and I was like, how is Zhang that old?
You know, no, Zhang ain't that.
Until I realized it was a vision. We saw Aang. Wait, let's start off from the beginning. The festival was fun. I love a festival. Never really been.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I've been to the janky festival in a nearby town that I'm not going to mention.
I
That
love
would
that
be
festival.
very early. It was all right. But anyway, whoa, sorry, my mind is catching
Jarron
up.
is out of it tonight.
I'm somewhere between like very manic, caffeinated, and just extremely tired. It's been a long day.
It has. I'm not-
His microphone is just adding everything.
Well, okay. I don't have a good microphone set up. Can I be heard clearly?
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, as long as I don't talk too close to it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I've gotten myself together now.
So your point about festivals, what were you?
It was fun. I enjoyed seeing them go to the festival and trying to have a good time, and them disguising themselves. I'm doing finger quotes in hoods until the masks. They're like, "How are we gonna get the masks?" And then the vendor's like, "It's your ceremonial masks here." Oh, and when they switched masks, they're making the facial expressions of the masks.
Guitar's
That
just
was
like-
funny.
Guitar's just like, yeah, no. Sokka gets sad mask.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That was funny.
Sokka is very quickly becoming like one of my favorite characters
Me
because he
too.
is such a doormat.
No.
He is a doormat.
Something the fortune teller episode definitely established.
I like Sokka. I really think he's other than Appa, but like my favorite too.
I am glad to see you come around to Sokka after those first episodes where you were just like, mask.
Butthead. He is a
He's grown.
poopy-brained butthead in the first
He's
couple episodes. He's proof that you can grow and learn as a person.
I have a confession
Confess.
for this episode. All of you will be mad at me, but listen, hear me out. I love
I
Aang.
know where this is.
He's great, but he got on my nerves this episode.
Yep.
Like, he was just so annoying. And
Oh,
not even with the
no.
whole burning thing, but even with just the festival and that he had to save Katara, even though it was very obviously a magic trick. And I'm like, okay, I know you're not dumb. But it just got on my
A
nerves.
little dumb.
He's
He's a little
yeah.
dumb.
And
I mean, he is but an impish rogue of a little
He
boy.
is,
so,
but a
and I
12
know he's just 12. I know he's just 12, and he's still young. But the
And-
whole, I'm not going to listen to this master, even though he's clearly a master of fire and is trying to teach me something, was a little annoying. Even though I could see why he'd be annoyed.
Well, he did pay for that overeagerness.
Yeah.
Okay. I see your point of how, like, yeah, it's annoying that he's not going to listen to him. He's the master. He should take his advice and he should listen to him. But, I mean, like,
Zhang was being a tool at certain
yeah, Tong was being a tool, and not only that, Aang feels like he's on a timeline.
Yeah.
Because he feels like if I don't learn all these things within like this like time period, then the world is going to explode.
See, like, I got that, and I get him being upset after just breathing for hours, but I feel like maybe if he had done it right or really concentrated, he would have made progress and seen it progress at least. I don't know. And I know he had reason to be annoyed, but as a viewer, I was annoyed.
I don't know. If I could bend all the elements, I'd be pretty eager to do it too.
That's true. Like, listen, I see where he's coming from. I do. I really do. But I can't help my subconscious annoyance. I still love him. Still love him.
I mean, I've just gotten used to the way you watch media by now, Nora, so I'm just like, during rewatches of these episodes, I'm just like, oh yeah, Nora's going to bring this up. This is going to be a thing where Nora has words.
Nora has words.
It was basically from the start where he just interrupted the magic trick that I was annoyed.
Okay, what are you doing?
That was the most annoying part, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup for what happens later because he's worried that the magic trick is going to hurt Katara, and then trying to replicate part of that magic act is what causes him to hurt Katara.
Yeah, I think that was done on purpose.
What a beautiful comparison. I mean, not beautiful, but what an intellectual comparison. I didn't even think of it like that. You're a genius, Daniel.
Aww. So yeah, I think we could probably talk about that moment. They used quite a number of discretion shots because this was a kids show on Nickelodeon, but Katara got her hands really burned.
Yeah.
They were McCrispy.
Nora.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, Zhang was not lying when he's talking about fire being the most dangerous element. And that is definitely something Aang comes to realize throughout the episode. His little resolve to never firebend again. There at the bit. He only really snaps out of that funk once he realizes that Admiral Zhao is around.
Yeah.
Oh, Admiral Zhao was kind of a doof this episode, too.
No self-control.
Talking about General Zhao's always a dude.
Yeah, but I thought he was smarter than that. Didn't he see, oh, I'm literally aiming at the boat?
He is a certified idiot.
Okay, that's fair.
Every episode, he does
Even
something.
Zhang knew.
Every episode that he's in, he's an idiot. He does something idiotic.
When he fought Aang, the whole point was Aang just screwing around with him, and intentionally getting him to mess things up. I thought it was really clever. I thought it was Aang is being
It was definitely the thing Aang needed to kind of recover. Just being able to, declaw Zhao without ever having to throw a single blow.
yeah. That's one of the reasons why I like Aang a lot.
Yeah, the figuring out non-violent solutions to violent problems is a really cool thing about him.
Yeah.
Loving.
Was this the episode where Zuko's boat got lit up and they thought he was dead?
Zuko's
that's
not in this episode.
our cycle.
Mm-mm.
Zuko's
the
only in the
next one?
last episode that we're going to talk about.
One. I know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
Never mind. Sorry.
No, I can see how you get confused because boats get blowed up in both.
Yeah.
But there's also Zhang, first
Oh,
firebenders and live. Yeah, the other guy's a second, but you don't get to be a legend for that.
He was the deserter. Honestly, that guy, Che, his name was. He is such a mood, as the kids would say.
Che is a mood.
He is a mood.
They abandoned him.
They abandoned him.
Well, they kind of had the fool, but still not cool to do that to poor Che.
Yeah,
No.
what's he do now? They were so rude to him. Why didn't they train him to be one of his Secret Service firemen in the woods with little hats?
He is a firebender.
Yeah, but he's not one of the cool ones that had the hats and stuff. He was just kind of like.
Well, it's because he deliberately disobeyed Zhang by seeking out the Avatar.
Yeah, but it looked like he remained in the same state before as afterwards.
hey, I have a fact.
What?
Jong is a name in Korean, and it means quiet, still, and gentle.
That definitely speaks to the character.
Exactly.
And he's also, I really like his whole perspective on fire.
I need new headphones. These keep breaking.
It's kind of sad. I mean, he seems so burdened by it.
Yeah, he has a lot of guilt over just the ability to wield fire, but the idea that it's a living element, that a rock won't throw itself, but fire will consume everything.
Yeah.
And he does want to impress that onto Aang, not in the way that it ended up being impressed on the poor kid, but
I felt so bad during that scene when Sokka tackles him.
Yeah, Sokka's freaking out because his sister just got hurt. Katara is just burned and crying, and Aang is shocked and appalled at himself. It's a very dark scene.
Yeah.
It goes by fast enough that it doesn't, linger in the mind as being dark. But that is.
But the fact that I remembered it.
Yeah. So, big stuff happened in this one. But the big takeaways being Aang now has an understanding of the burden of fire. Katara has discovered her healing abilities, and Zhao proves himself to be a big old doo-doo head.
Yes.
He is a big old doo-doo head.
He proves it again.
Was his name Zhang that was training him? I hope he finds the beauty in fire, because there are some very nice and pretty things about fire, instead of just only seeing the despair in it. I mean, it's good that he has a connection to it, and I don't know if we'll ever see his character again, but I hope, even if we don't, in the realm of that animation world, that he could find some.
That he finds a little piece.
Yeah.
Hashtag peace for Zhang.
I feel awful.
Okay. Well, that was The Deserter. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Yes.
What's the
Okay.
next one?
The next one is The Northern Air Temple.
Oh, Nora, can we hear your ship first?
Okay, listen. I have ship, and I thought it was really cute, but I realize it's kind of basic now. So I feel like it's not the Nora trait of being a unique ship, but I'll say it anyway because it was pretty bomb. I think his name was Teo.
Teo, yeah.
Yeah, Teo.
Teo and Aang. I'm sorry. I saw sparks. I saw fireworks. I saw a true love of Aang unite on the screen in front of me. The Teo Aang tang, the tanginess, the flavor is
Oh, full circle.
You
What?
had to go there again.
Didn't I say that it was him?
yeah.
You did.
You did in our group.
I already knew. I already knew that she was gonna say him.
Well, it's just so obvious. Like, I feel like it's even more obvious than Aang and Katara. Hear me out. I know Aang and Katara make up literally the entire series, but the emotion, the connection I saw in that 20 minutes was like,
Like that feeling when you get that finger-safe knife sharpener just right.
like we literally watched Aang fall in love. He came in town. It was this stereotypical thing. Hear me out. Teo was, listen, and it's a little flip-flopped here. Teo was like this gentle, artistic guy, and then Aang comes in as this tough, powerful guy, and he's against everything until Teo shows him the beauty of some of their worlds. And then Aang is like, oh wow, yeah, he really does have the spirit of an airbender, and sees his soul. And decides to open up the vaults for him. He opens up the vault for him, and they bond over the trauma, and they have to rely on each other, and they make an even further connection. And I expect a wedding. I really do. I think that's part 2.
Only in your fan fiction.
I don't think I can look at Nora right now.
So have you finally found your OTP?
Yeah.
Aang, and the character who shows up in only one episode.
You know
Truly
what?
romantic.
He
Mwah.
better come back for a wedding episode.
A wedding episode.
All right. So for the listeners who may need a refresher, the Northern Air Temple, in this episode, Aang discovers new people have moved into what used to be the Northern Air Temple, and he's not too happy about it.
Them dang refugees taking my air temple.
You dang refugees, get off my sacred land.
Until he falls for the flying stable boy.
No.
We're gonna make the air temple great again.
No.
They took our air.
It took our air. I hate the way I smile. I'm just
Stop
gonna
it!
keep
Stop
frowning.
it! No! Smile is joyous.
All right, so a lot of fun stuff to talk about in this episode. After the dessert
Place
got a little
was
dark.
so cool.
Oh, for sure.
It was like proper like steampunk almost.
Yeah, so
Okay, steampunk is normally based around like 19th century Victorian England, but the Eastern influence steampunk was really cool. It was a bit like Ghibli. It was a bit Lapita-esque. A little bit.
sure. It
Back me up.
No, I agree. It all looks really cool. The way they design a different type of hot air balloon, the way they have
Yes.
tanks that can like basically operate upside down.
Can we talk about Sokka literally turning into an engineer and like a scientist all at the same time?
Yeah.
engineer, scientist, inventor, and intellect came before us.
So this has been slightly hinted at before, like with his ideas with the fire bombs at the fire temple. But this is the episode that really gets to dive into it by giving him a scientist buddy who's just awesome.
Yeah, I like their friendship.
Me too.
No, you're a genius. Oh, thank you. No, you're a genius.
Never mind. Go ahead.
I've always been a fan of Teo's dad. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
What was his name?
I'll try to look it up in a bit, but
Y'all are fake fans.
I have notes.
but
Did he have a name?
Yeah,
I'm
Dad.
pretty certain they gave him a name at some point in the episode.
Can y'all hear my dog in the background? He's aggressively itching himself.
Bear?
Like, yeah, he's like bum 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 bum. So if you hear that, that's my dog. He says hi.
Hello, Bear. You're a good boy.
There.
He loves y'all too.
Anyway, just the gag with the finger safe knife sharpener stuck with me for over a decade at this point. It's just the fact that he pulls it off and you realize he's got no fingers, and then you realize this man accidentally chopped off 2 fingers and then chopped off a third one because that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Exactly. Why not?
And just all the things about his design that you like slowly learn about, like his messed up eyebrows because he almost blew himself up and stuff like that.
Like you do.
That just slowly like reveals itself throughout the episode. I'm just like
Really?
amazed by.
He said, "I'ma zoo it. There's no reason not to zoo it, so I'ma zoo it."
Oh, I fill a cabin with rotten eggs. I'm gonna zoo it.
Zoo it.
Yep. So this is an interesting episode also in terms of its themes. Kind of touches on cultural appropriation in some.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
And
also,
I will say this is a theme that's explored a lot more after the show ends in the comics that basically follow up the series. It goes a lot more into a lot of stuff about cultural appropriation, which I thought is very interesting, and maybe we can talk about those one day.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see the main series also at least touch on them. And then we get a freaking air battle.
Yes. That was also a bit Ghibli-like. The tech.
With a purely Nickelodeon touch. Remember, this was the mid-2000s.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about the animation. I'm talking about the concept, because the animation, they use some suspect-looking CGI for the day. Probably good for the day, actually.
The scene where they drop like the air balloon's fuel and it blows everything up. I was glad they cut to look, they're retreating, because I thought they literally just killed hundreds of people on a child's cartoon show, and they were like, "Oh look, they're retreating." I was like, "Good save, Nickelodeon," because that would have been a lawsuit right there.
Yeah, just a 2-second thing, but it makes the show a lot more humanitarian, and it's nice.
I was like, are we not going to talk about that?
We literally just blew off an atom bomb's worth of TNT. Oh, it's okay. They're good. They're running away.
I was like, are we making a statement here? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, don't do it.
Victory without sacrifice, and the sacrifice was all firebenders. No, it wasn't like
all firebenders.
I don't know know if y'all can hear my dog, but he is like throwing a party downstairs. He is running everywhere. It sounds like someone is robbing my house, but it's just my dog.
You might want to check on that.
All right, Nora's checking on that. So, well, another thing about this episode, I'll get with Bear.
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. This is going to say another thing about this episode. Quite the ominous ending.
Yes.
I've always loved that line. This defeat will be the gateway to many victories.
Oh yeah.
Just as the balloon starts to reinflate and the Fire Nation insignia on it takes on a whole new meaning now that it's theirs.
Yeah, but wouldn't they just think the other side could build it as well? Because
but just access to the air kind of takes away the advantage, because one of the takeaways from the episode for the good guys was as long as we had the skies, we'll have the Fire Nation on the run. But now the Fire Nation can also take to the skies. And it does feel like they don't even know they've lost that advantage.
True.
But yeah, otherwise, really solid episode. It was fun. We had a good battle. You also have Katara trying to glide.
Oh, that poor girl. She was so scared of heights. She did so good. I was proud of her.
She's like, look at
A bug.
That's a bug.
That was funny. Oh my gosh. I remember I was watching out loud, and sometimes I talk to myself while watching TV. And I was watching that scene, and I remember going, "Ha! That was funny." Just putting it out there for my sofa to hear.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about for that episode?
Not a whole lot.
Teo and Aang, Tang forever.
No.
So tangy.
Nora,
She's
gotta
so tangy.
you keep shipping main characters and like one-off characters.
Listen. He
No.
can go save the world in jazz. That's fine.
No.
No
Okay.
big deal. And then he comes back.
Oh, no.
Teo.
No, next.
You guys are reacting so viscerally to this, but like it's not an Iroh Appa ship, so I'll
It
take
was platonic. It was
No,
platonic.
I disapprove.
Listen, Iroh and Appa would be best friends.
We had to bring that back up. I thought we were doing just fine, but no.
Iroh and Appa would be best friends. Don't think about them canoodling. That's your fault
No,
for having your mind in the gutter. Nobody meant that here. Nobody meant that here. I said platonically. Or, well, after a minute I did. But that's what I meant.
Nora,
Period.
Okay.
I looked up your ship. I can't show you though. Daniel gets all the ships
How about
up because he understands.
we move on, because the next episode has quite a lot to it.
Yes, let's please, for the love of.
Oh my god.
All right, we're scattered right now. Nora's recovering. Olivia's looking up Tang shipping. Jan just hanging his head in shame.
I have an eyelash in my eyeball.
Oh yeah, that too.
Daniel, please go look at these.
What is it? What are you talking about? Is it Tang? I feel left out. Okay, you go look at that. I get this eyelash out of my eyeball.
I say we take a break.
No, I need this eyelash out.
I wonder if there's any more.
Okay. Do we want to take a break, or do we want to get through this last episode?
Oh my god.
I've almost got the eyelash. Okay, I'm good.
All right. Well, since I got no response, I'm just gonna go ahead with the next episode.
I said I was good. Gosh, you don't listen to me no more. I was going on about my eyeball, and I said that I was fine. I said, let's go. Let's go on with the show. You said there's no response. Well, you don't listen to me.
Daniel still hasn't looked at the pictures.
Daniel, look at the picture. Look at the picture.
I'm scared. Well, I'm no longer scared. I've seen the pictures. This is if I can see Nora getting behind.
What is it?
But it's not a ship I'm gonna ever tell her about.
What is it?
I can't show you now.
Wait, do I already know the characters? Because I probably already shipped it and just have it made a Kaling.
You don't know a character.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we can start now.
All right.
Can we please edit all that out?
You don't want to hear about my eyeball issue?
I will consider editing it out.
I will pay you, Daniel.
Future Daniel, if you decide to edit all of that out, all of that nonsense out, cut back in now. The Waterbending Master, what an episode, guys. Quick summary. Katara has to slap some sense into a boomer. Let's go.
That made me so mad. I mean, Katara's a feminist queen, but when that man said, "Oh, I didn't know your friend was a girl. Girls can't waterbend," I think I yelled. I think a voice came out of my body. I was so mad. I was like, we were doing so well. Why do you exist? Why is your opinion such trash? Oh, my body.
There it is. There it is. It has been.
She has goosebumps, y'all.
The ignorance. The oh, it made me mad. I was like, this show is it made me mad. It really did.
Hang on, give me a second. I gotta refresh my memory, my memory of the characters that were in this episode.
Yeah, so
There
one of them
was.
is Master Paku.
Yeah. Master Poop.
This episode wasn't she?
What was that?
Right? White-haired girl?
Yeah, Princess Yue.
Princess Yue, yeah. I love her.
Sokka, my boy.
I've always loved her, and I will forever love her.
I do ship her and Sokka.
My boy Sokka getting a little lady.
They are quite cute together.
When
They really are.
When I was little, I was always like, I want to be her.
Do you know who is cuter with Sokka, though?
Not again.
Wait, who? I actually want to hear this.
You've heard it. Prince Zuko.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, Sokka does call himself a prince in this episode.
Oh my gosh, it's foreshadowing.
Oh, no.
So, while Nora is busy shipping, this episode is pretty packed for its 22 minutes. Do we want to cut it up into three small discussions? The Paku discussion, the Sokka Yue discussion, and the Zuko assassination discussion.
Sure, why not?
Oh yeah.
Where do we want to start then?
Paku is a butt booty poopy butt face.
Oh, if we're going to Paku, I got some things to say.
Oh, my
Paku,
God.
it's no surprise why Gran left him.
Yes, I'm
yeah.
so happy when that happened. I literally thought, good, you deserve it. That's what you get, you sexist pig. Gran knew she could do better. She's an independent woman. I hope you're sad now. You deserve it, you piece of garbage with your uneducated.
Nora!
Sorry, I was really mad when I that character.
To recap, for listeners who may not remember, Gran literally left for the other side of the world to escape her ex.
Good, pop off.
That is a power move.
feminist queen.
It wasn't it like an arranged marriage though?
Yeah.
It was.
And she
So
said, I
technically-
ain't messing around.
And she turned her engagement gift into a family heirloom instead, just for that.
The program is great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. She knew who to leave.
She knew their tribe's rules were trash, and she said, I'm an independent queen. I'm not putting up with this. Goodbye, losers.
So yeah, the whole sexism angle. I knew you were gonna have words for it, Nora.
I'm sorry. I probably got too angry.
No. I think it's okay.
It's okay.
This really does show the show's age. The fact
It really does.
Because a lot of modern cartoons don't even touch this angle. Like, we don't even worry about it nowadays. I feel like unless the show just really wants a cheap shortcut to making you hate a character, sexism really isn't even a thing these days.
Mm-hmm.
In cartoons.
Okay.
As a theme in cartoons.
Okay.
Sorry if I stopped.
I thought you meant real life, and I was like, Daniel, we're going to have a discussion.
Yeah, no, it's still very much here in real life, unfortunately. But in cartoons, we've mostly grown beyond it. And the fact that this show feels the need to bring it up so it can debunk it does show you that it is from the mid-2000s more than any other aspect of the show.
I mean, they made a statement against it. Katara was such a queen.
For real.
Olivia, you're right. She really popped off. I was really, really proud of her.
Trust the process.
She is such a feminist icon. I love her.
Challenged him to a duel. And she had a master waterbender on the ropes for part of that duel.
Yeah. And the cool thing about waterbending is that it includes ice.
Oh yeah, so the North Pole is the best place. The North and South Pole's best place for a waterbender to be because everything is just bendable here, and probably one of the best bending battles we've seen so far.
Yes, absolutely. I was
stuff to do.
hooked.
Like, I love the move when she summons that little column of ice and just starts sending discs at him.
That was cool.
Yeah.
They did a lot of cool tricks with this battle.
My favorite thing about this whole series is just the bending. I just think it's
Yeah, it's neat.
It's sweet as all hell.
It keeps improving.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
I like seeing it grow with each element, and then they do different tricks with each element. It's not repetitive because sometimes that can happen with same theme fighting.
well, like their movements are all like the same, but
the outcomes of
that the outcome like you could tell like when the waterbenders bend they're fluid, and like when the firebenders they're I don't know how, they're choppy and aggressive.
And one of the things that keeps it fresh is you have so many combinations. This was our first time seeing two waterbenders fight.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which I also think helps keep the action pretty new and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, we do at least get Katara a teacher.
Woo!
He's learned. He's still a douche, but he's learned.
I was glad he grew and he understood. Sorry it took a mass heartbreak, but if it opens your eyes, it opens your eyes. So
it was a good thing they got that necklace back for Katara.
Yeah.
Otherwise, wouldn't have worked.
That's true.
But yeah, that is such a good use of that prop throughout this season. Like,
Yeah,
it's important
it's
to
more than
her.
just a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, it's important to her. She loses it. Zuko uses it to track him down. They get it back, and now it's a turning point for Paku's arc. All from one prop.
I was not expecting Paku to be the lost love of Graham.
Yeah, having rewatched the episode now, it feels a little bit better set up with Gran's old friend and the introduction of arranged marriages that we get through UA, which we can talk about that side of the story in a bit.
Yeah.
But once you piece it together, like they have arranged marriages, the girls aren't super cool about the arranged marriages, and Gran ran away. You can start to piece it together.
I want to know so much more about Graham. I feel like we could do a prequel just on Graham's side.
Yeah, why not?
We learn a little bit more about what happens in the Southern Water Tribe's past. Not quite Gran prequel material, but you get something new.
It's not a lot, but they give you something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this isn't right because I'm assuming I don't know how old the tribes are or anything, but I was wondering if Graham traveled from the North Water Tribe and helped start the Southern Water Tribe. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know.
No.
They've always been
Already
tribes in the sense that they were started at the same time, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Just in a distant past.
It was the Water Tribe. They split.
Yeah, because I figured it was probably started way back, but I didn't know maybe if like the Northern was started first and then.
Yeah. All the different nations were established long before Aang was born, if that helps. Like, just clarify.
There's an episode that talks about it all, but I don't know what season it's in, but I think it's way ahead.
I think it was this episode that the Fire Nation shows a map where they're talking about attacking the Northern Water Tribe. And to my knowledge, that was the first time I remember really seeing a map of their world.
Oh, no, we've seen a map quite a bit throughout the series.
Have
It's
we?
like, here's the Earth Kingdom, here's the Fire Nation, here's water, and then here's air.
And like
I
the
guess
second
just haven't been paying
Aang
attention.
pulls out a map. It's like, we're going to go here, but I want to make all these stops first, type of deal. And
Okay.
you've seen maps.
Yeah, I probably just wasn't looking. Oops. Sorry.
Even in the intro, they show
Yeah,
big
isn't there a map in the intro?
Sometimes I skip the intro a lot. Normally I don't. I know. Normally I watch intros to shows, but I actually get really anxious to watch the episodes, and like I want to get right to the episode because I enjoy it.
I can't wait for Nora.
But normally I love watching intros. I don't know why. I just wanted to like be like, show me the episode. I'll watch it from now on. I'm sorry.
I kind of want to video chat Nora while she's watching the finale.
I will talk so much.
Okay. You ready to move on to the next third of the story?
What's the next one?
UA and Sokka.
Love you, Bang.
They're
One
cute.
queen. Love her hair.
So Yue and Sokka. I want y'all's opinions.
Very, very cute.
I want to say so many things about Sokka, but I can't because
Sokka
seen it.
turns into a playa. He like pulls the moves.
You want to do an activity?
I mean, he's like nerdy and like awkward, but like he knows what he's doing.
I saw a TikTok about Sokka and Yue the other day.
He knows what he's doing.
It's very cute because he's pretty much outside of the Kyoshi Warriors. He's pretty much never interacted with girls his own age, and now he's trying to put the moves on a literal princess.
Yeah.
But
Go big or go home.
she's into it.
She is down for it.
Yeah. He's an adorable goofball. Who wouldn't be down for that? Look, like he was so sweet to her.
He carves her a fish that doesn't look like a fish at all, but he tried.
It was so sweet.
Look, he put in so much effort. Mm.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, so I bet you guys are curious how the arranged marriage thing is going to come into play.
She will listen to the story that Katara said. She will get out of her arranged marriage. Arranged marriages will be forbidden in the kingdom, and then her and Sokka will start dating.
I love your theory,
Predictions.
Sarah.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I cannot wait for y'all to watch it. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, does she get killed off? That would be tragic.
Nora just you're so negative.
No, I'm not. I was like so positive.
Nora's like
Nora's like, she's going to get killed off. Olivia, that's pretty negative. No, it's not.
she's gonna die.
Listen, I was so positive, and then you said I can't wait for you to watch it, as if that was not accurate. So I had to go to the other end. It went from super positive to super negative.
I was like, gosh, she's gonna get killed off, huh?
No, I said I hope
negative.
My
I
head
hope
hurts.
she doesn't.
I'm sorry, Jarron.
It'd be fascinating.
You want to talk about your boy now?
Oh yeah. Listen. Hey, look how the mascot of my boy.
What?
What?
The pirates the previous. Zuko.
What?
Hey, Jarron,
Huh?
we're kind of losing you.
Oh, hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you back.
All right, I was saying, look how they massacred my boy.
He got beat up.
He got beat up. They went after him.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because I was eating another Klondike bar. Apparently, I always eat a Klondike bar when I watch my 3 episodes for some reason now. I don't know. But
It's a fun
I kind
tradition.
of like didn't fully get this subplot. Like I got it, but I think I was looking down for maybe, or I don't know. Because I get he fake died because they blew up the ships because they wanted to get the Avatar themselves, correct?
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
somehow he escaped, and then him and Iroh met up, and Iroh accepted the previous offer to go with what's-his-face and be his general. And Zuko is now a hidden military soldier for what's-his-face, so he can go capture the Avatar. Is that correct? Is that everything that happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I got it, like, but I feel like I missed some steps, but I guess it was just sort of splicey the way they did it.
Yeah.
Splicey.
It was cut in with a lot of other stuff.
It just felt sort of random, to be honest.
It does. It goes from, oh no, Zuko's dead, to, oh yeah, Zuko's on the ship and Iroh knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I saw what they were going for and wanted to be like, oh, he's alive. But, I mean,
They decided to leave a lot implied, mostly
Like,
because this episode was packed.
yeah.
It was a stuffed 22 minutes. So
About that, I feel like almost all of these episodes could go longer than they do. Even, like, the 2-parters.
I feel like in a post-streaming world, if this like show had come out on streaming, they probably would have done the thing a lot of Netflix shows are doing, where it's like 25 to 30 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And I do wonder if that would benefit them or not.
I do, because I've said before, like, there's just little moments that they need.
And there's also, since this was made for broadcast, like those commercial breaks are a thing. Like you're expected to stop watching for a few minutes and come back and expect that things have changed in your absence.
Yeah. And we can see where the commercial breaks are because
Mhm.
Netflix, my friend, did
Netflix.
not buy the
Netflix
remastered
cheap.
version.
Masters of all forms of streaming, but still cheap.
Still cheap.
It's okay. We love you, Netflix.
Yeah, There were some good moments on this side of the plot. I loved Zhao seeing the swords and realizing just how badly Zuko screwed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the facial animation there was good. You get the shock, you get the sudden turn to anger, and then you get the plot for revenge, just all in a facial expression. It's great.
Yeah,
Zhao
that was
really
a
is a fascinating character.
I'm really glad I didn't forget that episode, even though I almost did. For some reason. I really blame Daniel not allowing me to binge watch for my forgetting. I think I'm so used to procrastinating that I binge watch all the episodes and I remember
I'm
it.
fascinated that you cite that as the problem, because if you're having trouble remembering them in 3-episode bursts, how would binging help?
Listen, I can't explain my brain, but when I cram, it works. I remember all of it. I can tell you all the little details. But if I watch it like a normal person and progress with it slowly and learn it at a slow pace, like, they recommend you to do, I forget it. But then once you remind me, I remember everything. Just like, you just say, this is that episode. Then I'm like, oh, I can tell you all about it. But it takes a second. This is my theory. It's probably wrong, but it's my theory.
Oh, I can't wait for her to watch it.
Yeah. So this whole subplot does end on our final note for the episode, which is a massive fleet heading to the North Pole.
Yummy.
Yummy.
When we next reconvene, we'll only be watching 2 episodes, but they're the big season finale.
What?
Yeah.
Only 2?
It's part 1 and part 2.
Are they longer at least?
No.
No.
No, trust
It's
me.
the ending of the season. Come on, Nora.
You're gonna watch them and you're gonna be satisfied.
Well,
It's like,
It would not be good to watch. It wouldn't be good to watch 3 episodes here, because then you'll be starting the second season.
okay.
Yeah, I would rather start off fresh.
Yeah.
But it's a big 2-part season finale. Don't worry, it's going to be fun. It is just.
I think I'm actually gonna watch these 2 with y'all. They're too good.
They
You
are
haven't
that.
been watching them?
No, I've seen the whole thing like 7 times.
She ended up rewatching the whole series before we even started the podcast.
That's right.
Oh. Like I said, I watched 2 episodes the other day, but they were in season 2.
Gotcha.
Which we'll be getting to very shortly.
I'm so excited. I think actually that's my favorite season.
Really?
Okay.
Do you have a least favorite season?
Season 1.
Oh.
I really
So,
like
from your point of view, it only goes up from here.
Yeah,
Well, Daniel can agree. It's not bad. It's just at the bottom.
Yeah, and it does have episodes like The Great Divide.
Oh.
I thought that wasn't bad.
I was always okay. You will soon. I was always I was always stuck between if I like season 3 or season 2, but I think season 2 is just superior
Okay.
in all ways.
Well, that's good.
I have a question, and it might not be the best time to answer it, but you could tell me you'll answer it later. But was this series designed to only have 3 seasons, or did they get shut down by the network?
Was Pam.
Okay.
They planned 3 seasons from the beginning.
I was going to
Thank
say, because if it's
goodness.
as good as you say, I'm surprised the network didn't continue it.
No, they had from the beginning. They knew it was only going to be 3 seasons because that's the way that they like designed the plot and everything.
And to be fair, I think Nickelodeon was fine with that, because this was a very expensive series to produce. This wasn't SpongeBob, where they could order like 40 episodes a season, have it animated in Korea for super cheap, and then make billions off of it. This is a different beast.
Avatar was animated in Korea.
Well, yeah, but not by a cheap animation studio.
Oh no, it was expensive.
It was expensive as heck. But yeah,
I like SpongeBob.
I like SpongeBob too.
I like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob.
Yeah, the newer episodes aren't that good, but
Chocolate. I remember
Anyway.
chocolate.
we have covered everything unless you guys have any last lingering thoughts that couldn't fit in anywhere else.
I'm just excited for them to watch the finale.
I know. I'm excited to get to it.
I'm so excited for I feel like after they watch it, Nora's just gonna message the chat.
I mean, hey, if you guys watch it tomorrow, we can just do another one tomorrow.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Nora's excited because then she can start the first 3 episodes of season 2 right away.
Yeah.
Nora's like, anything that lets me watch more, let's do it.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna watch finale after we end this call.
So
I'm going to
hard,
bed. But
You are weak, Daniel.
I have to be somewhere like 8:30 in the morning, but I'm probably still gonna watch it after this.
yeah, Nora is stronger than me.
Nora's
Anyway,
Nora can do anything.
I think that's the episode. We do have one last item on the agenda,
Me to sing us out?
obviously.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Together at last, together forever. Tie the knot with a single airbender. I don't need Tora now, 'cause now I have you. I don't need anything.
Anything.
But that was it.
Boy, oh boy.